Child, so I think Shamia is by far probably the one of the most corniest new housewives we ever had in our lives. So now she is out here blaming Brit for the demise of her and Porsha's friendship. Like, girl, you're doing this because Brit didn't come to the reunion. Because we already know, even before Brit said that you showed her the text, Angela and Drew exposed you too. It's everybody except for you. Shamina is a perpetual victim, and what I can't do is take it. She also said she think that Angela was the one who set the whole Marcus thing up. We gonna talk about that, friend. We also gonna talk about Armand. Armand was on the Angela Yee show today. He had some stuff to say. Amy Luciani or whatever from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, she filed for divorce against Dwight Howard. I guess Boo Boo Kitty, baby, once Boo Boo Kitty stepped into the room and was like, here is your strap. Once she had to start pegging this man, shit got crazy. Exactly. We gonna talk about the details of their divorce settlement. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is coming back, so I'm assuming that's why Jock posted this shit. Amy is like, I cannot do this. Bunchy Cat brother and Boo Boo Kitty who want me to strap up my man. Whatever the case may be, I don't know. Remember earlier I had told y'all about Claudia, right? Why did Claudia comment under Spill It Boy, aka James Caldwell, aka a YouTube GOAT? If y'all don't know who he is, y'all better go check him out. Exactly. Commenting underneath his post, and tell me why Al motherfucking ass allegedly was hating on Dustin. It's a reason why I told y'all earlier in my video that I did not want to see Al light-skinned perm comb over ass on my damn TV screen, or even on my YouTube screen. But we gonna talk about that. We also gonna talk about Nene and Cynthia just for a tad bit. Nene had some stuff to say about those AI baby dolls and shit, the little babies, the Nene babies, which I love. But Nene had something to say. And then we're gonna talk about DDG. So we're gonna talk a little about a lot. That's what we're gonna do, friends. So make sure you get your, I hope y'all had a great Monday. I had a great Monday. Exactly. I had a great Monday. So thank God for that. Exactly. So get y'all little cocktail. Exactly. We finna get into a little bit of tea. I was literally at the post office and I was like, I'm not gonna wait till I get home and do a whole live or whatever, because I'm trying to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And why was I watching? So speaking of the housewives, because that's what we're gonna start off talking about. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this video. Before we start talking about Shamia dirty ass, I seen this on a blog post, but I started watching Porsha and Cynthia on Playing Spades. It's called Playing Spades. It has Nick Cannon and I forgot the other young lady's name. So I subscribed. When I tell y'all, if y'all don't get y'all snickle and giggles from this channel, go and watch the video. It's called We Just Playing Spades. I think it's called We Just Playing Spades. It's Nick Cannon's channel. Cynthia and Porsha are on it. When I tell y'all I laughed the whole episode, I'm literally at the post office now sending off orders. Thank y'all for supporting me and shit. But baby, when I tell you the whole episode was funny as hell, they was off that drink. They was off them cocktails. And Cynthia is so much more. Cynthia is fun when she around Porsha. I don't care what y'all say about Player P. The girl is funny. Anyway, speaking of Player P, let's talk about this Shamia shit. Shamia did another interview, child. Shamia, stop doing interviews, baby girl. Baby girl, interviews not your thing. Let me see you twirl. Exactly. So, girl, so she did another interview. When they asked her about Porsha, I thought, this baby snickle and giggle, friend. When they asked her about Porsha, she said that, yeah, after the reunion, me and Porsha agreed that we wouldn't talk about each other on a... What made me laugh was the fact, hold on, let me put this up a little bit. What made me laugh was the fact that at the beginning of the season, she did multiple interviews. All she was talking about was Porsha. Porsha must have drug her ass to the pits of hell and Yaki 1B pack her during the reunion, because now it's like, we agreed that I would not talk about my friend. I won't talk about my friend. Exactly. Okay, now you agree that you want to talk about your friend, bitch. I'm assuming it's because at the reunion, like Cynthia said, Porsha drug your ass down the hill and exposed you for the fake ass bitch that you are. Then she blamed the whole Porsha fallout on Brit Edie. And I was like, ain't this some shit, bitch? Because Porsha may or may not have, we ain't seen the reunion yet, drug your ass during the reunion. Now you're blaming Brit for the fallout of you and Porsha's friendship? Is it because Brit wasn't at the reunion? I wish Brit was at the reunion to drag the dog shit out of Shamea and Kelly. But baby, so she said she feel like Brit was basically doing too much, and the whole, you know, when Brit told Porsha that, hey, Shamia showed us these text messages, yada, yada, yada. And I think all of us as a whole, can we agree that the way Porsha responded to Brit saying that let us know that, Shamia, you did show her those texts? Because Porsha responded as if she already, like, she knew what Brit was talking about. And Brit wouldn't have known that shit had you not told her, bitch. So what are we talking about? How you gonna blame her? Shamia has a hard time with accountability. Even when Drew, and my whole thing is, if you gonna blame anybody, why wouldn't you blame Angela and Drew? Because Angela was the first person who came to Porsha and told her about you telling her about the friendship shit. Remember? And even after she said that, she blamed Porsha for that. She didn't take accountability and say, girl, I was tipsy, I was out with them, and I was talking about, you know what I'm saying, how I was mad about you didn't come to my wedding and nothing. You know what I'm saying? She didn't keep it real. She flipped it on Porsha at Porsha's event and acted like she was the victim. Like, why would you believe these girls? Because these hoes would know none of this shit if you wouldn't have told me that. But now we know that not only did you tell Angela and Drew all of this shit, you went back and told Kelly and Brit and showed them text messages, and now you can't deny it because Porsha already know, bitch, I only told you this. So what are we talking about? Girl, Shamia, tell me if y'all want to see Shamia next season. Because all of the girlies, I remember when I said I didn't like Shamia, y'all was dragging me for filth. Tell me now, after all of this has transpired and we at the end of the season, do y'all still want to see Shamia as a housewife? I don't know. She also commented on the Angela shit, and she said that she believed Angela set that up with Marcus because, you know, she the one that invited Marcus to the event. And I think that's how we all feel, or a lot of us feel. Even if you like Angela, it's safe to say that you ushered Marcus into our lives. We wouldn't have never known Marcus and Ren and 10 of the housewives. We would have never known Marcus and Alex had you not ushered him into our lives. Because even after the Kelly event, you could have glossed over that like he was just a crazy fan, but you ushered him into our lives. So Shamia, you get one little point, but I don't know if she was trying to do damage control, because we don't know what Porsha gonna come with on this reunion. I want to know if they gonna get into the mama tea of it all, because we know on the clip on the reunion trailer that Andy gonna ask them about the beef between the mamas. So are we gonna get into like the nitty gritty? I told y'all on that one live, the only thing I could think of was that Shamia mama bought Porsha's mama's daycare after it closed. After Porsha mama told her about the daycare, Shamia mama bought the daycare, basically took over the business, and her already clout but we don't know. I don't know. I'm just assuming this is all alleged in my opinion. Your best friend don't know friend, but we go talk. We ain't got shit else to do. We go talk. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about Shamia. Most of all, do y'all want to see Shamia here for another season? After all we've seen from Shamia, I just feel like Shamia was brought on like, oh, this is the ultimate housewife. She's rich. They got a $9 million home. She has a husband. She has the child. First of all, we didn't see her husband. We didn't see her in housewife mode as far as like date nights with her husband. We seen her with her child and stuff, but I just don't know, y'all. And then I feel like the whole storyline with Porsha gives, now that we know everything about you, you just did that for sympathy, and you're actually the bad friend. You're actually the one who kept talking about her in interviews, talked about her with Angela and Drew, and then you also talked about her with Brit, Edie, and Kelly, and showed text messages. We already knew you showed text messages back in the Sheree days, because remember, she showed Sheree them text messages. Shamia, you're the bad friend, and I feel like you already knew that the people didn't like Porsha because of the Simon stuff, and you just leaned into that. I don't know if this was the advice of Candy, but I don't know. And Candy Coded Click, don't come for me, because I will, I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about Amy. So Amy Luciani, Amy Luciani from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Do y'all notice how we hearing a lot about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because they coming on tomorrow? I'm gonna watch it, but let's still talk about it. So according to Tasha K actually posted the divorce papers. So Amy Luciani filed for divorce on June the 30th. Some of the divorce filings say June 30th. Maybe once they processed it, it was July the 1st. You know what I'm saying? But we know within the last week, Amy Luciani from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you know, she got married to Dwight Howard, who allegedly has, you know, he had a lawsuit with that gay guy. The gay guy was like the side dude. He was mad because Dwight Howard always wanted Boo Boo Kitty, Miss Kitty Cat, the trans lady. She bad to the bone. She a badass trans lady. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. But that's what he really liked. So T-girls is what he really liked. Not yellow bones, but T-girls. Exactly. Keep up with me, friend. Keep up. Exactly. So she filed for divorce against him. She cited irreconcilable differences or whatever, but this was the whole thing. First of all, we already told you, you already knew, and we had already told you that that man don't want nothing with no homegrown virgin African cat. He don't want nothing with no homegrown virgin African cat. Amy Luciani ain't no virgin, but he don't want nothing from, he don't want your African cat. This man want Boonchie cat. And he want that he want that great peen. That's what he wants. Because we already heard from the gay dude he was messing with. Mind you, the dude was cute as hell. He was a cutie. He was a cutie. But he even told us that, damn, I couldn't even get Dwight Howard to act right because he wanted Boo Boo Kitty. And Boo Boo Kitty is a T-girl. A seasoned T-girl. She looked like a seasoned T-girl. And when I tell y'all seasoned, like Kinders and Sierra, a seasoned T-girl. Exactly. Anyway, child. So in her divorce decree, she cited irreconcilable differences. They live in two different households. This was the real tea. She wants an equitable division of property and assets. Girl, you just got married to him. They got married, I believe, January the 11th. Child, y'all been married for like what, 14 minutes? Y'all been married for 14 minutes, and now you want alimony. She wants alimony, both temporary and permanent. This girl wants temporary and permanent alimony. And she wants equitable division of all of the properties. She also asked the judge to rule that he can't move any of his assets around. So once they divide these properties, you know how before you go through your divorce proceedings, shout out to my divorce girlies, before you go through your divorce proceedings, if your husband have anything, some of these rich men, they will like move assets overseas and do all of these things. They will allocate all of their assets and shit so that you won't get a portion of their shit. So that's what Amy is asking for. And I'm like, y'all ain't been married that long. Like, usually I'm for the girlies, but this is why I understand why a lot of people don't want to get married. We've only been married for 6 months, give or take. And now you want to make sure all of my assets are in place so the judge can divide. You don't get none of my motherfucking assets. You've been here for less than 365 days. Less than a year, or 265 if we Porsha. So the fact that this girl, and on top of that, she wants temporary and permanent alimony from him. It's giving, when everybody asks why Amy Luciani was doing it, now it's giving that you was just sticking in there because you knew you was gonna get a payout. I'm not sure how long the judge is gonna grant her alimony or what the laws are in the state of Georgia or whatever, but this is giving clout chaser. And why I say this is because Amy Luciani's ex-boyfriend, who was broke, he was broke, but I feel like that was the love of her life. Is his name Mozzie? What's his name, y'all? I think his name Mozzie. He was broke. So it's giving, now I'm getting with a rich man. And I can tell when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when she was getting into it with Sierra and them, I could tell them calling her broke really, really, really disturbed her spirit. So even if she comes back to Love and Hip Hop, she can come back as, bitch, I got money, because you getting alimony from Dwight Howard. And I don't blame Dwight Howard in this regard, because you already knew what time it was when you married me. You already saw all of the blogs. You already knew that this guy, she knew everything up front. So it's not like she was marrying a DL man or whatever the case may be. Even if this man was telling you that he don't like men like that, you could use your good sense. And I never thought that Amy was a dumb bitch until now. You already knew that it was allegations, and it was proof that this man likes men. So it's giving you just signed up for this because you wanted your change, you wanted your cheese, and it is what it is. Tell me what y'all think about Amy though. I don't know. Let's talk about Claudia real quick. This gonna be real quick. So remember earlier I was talking about Funky Dineva apologizing to Claudia, you know, and them like reuniting the whole TGIF thing or whatever. Funky Dineva had a party down to the bar in New Orleans doing Essence Fest. Claudia was down there. He apologized for all of the fucked up shit he did to her, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the dissolution of TGIF and all of those things. Now, one of my favorites, James Caldwell, aka Spill It Boy TV, just clean it up and just clean it up. Is that one of my other YouTube friends said, like, girl, you be mentioning other people that we don't know of. If y'all are YouTube fans, y'all gotta check out some of these YouTube goats. Exactly, because he's literally one of the goats of YouTube. Exactly. Anyway, the moral of the story is, so he did a video on it, right? So Claudia was in his comments commenting on it or whatever, because he was basically saying it seemed performative. Go check out his video or whatever. He was basically saying it seemed performative. He think they already got something set up. He don't think with them having those big egos that, you know what I'm saying, that it would just be happenstance that he would come out and apologize to Claudia like that in public. So Claudia got down there and commented and was like, no, it was like that. I hadn't talked to Funky since TGIF and the fallout of that. I heard that he did want to work with me, but I hadn't. And I seen Claudia do an interview where she said that when someone asked her, like, hey, Funky Dineva mentioned that he wanted like a reunion on the TGIF thing. And Claudia said, yes, I did see that, but he hasn't talked to me and he hasn't called me. I'm assuming maybe Funky saw that and was like, hey, I need to pick up the phone and call her directly. So she was saying underneath the comments that, hey, no, I hadn't talked to him. We don't have shit planned. He just texted me, asked me if I was coming to Essence Fest. I decided to show up. I brung my good girlie because I didn't know what the energy was going to be like with Funky. I came there, he apologized, and it was a beautiful moment, and it wasn't no fugazi shit. So then, She also commented because in Spiller Boy TV, he was talking about how she did Conscious TV. If y'all don't know who Conscious TV is, he's another great YouTube blogger. I listen to some of his content or whatever. He like exposed like that behind the scenes stuff. Remember when all that shit came out with like the producer talking all that shit out? He like exposed all of that. So all of the people was thinking that Claudia gave him all of that information and him and Claudia was cool and close and shit. So Spiller Boy was talking about, you know what I'm saying, how he thought it was kind of wrong that Claudia didn't give him an audition when they were auditioning other YouTubers and like other talent to be like the permanent host before they chose Armand. Follow me, friend. Exactly. So Claudia, in her comments, when she was commenting on his YouTube, she was like, I wanted other YouTubers to audition as well, but they cut me off. Fox Soul cut her off. She said she wanted Mims to audition. I forgot who all it was. Let me see. Did I write it down, y'all? I don't know. I know she said Mims. I don't think I wrote it all down. Anyway, but she said Mims. I know for sure. I remember she said Mims. But she also said Dustin. She said, I wanted Dustin, but my coworker cut that off. Al, was you hating on Dustin? Because I couldn't see it being Funky. Why would Funky hate on Dustin and ain't all of them cool? I thought Carlos, Dustin, and all of the girlies was cool. All of the men, excuse me. You know, I don't want to call them girlies if that's not, you know, what they identify as. But Al is a motherfucking hater. This is why I said this. So Claudia said that she wanted Dustin, but one of her coworkers was hating on her. Al is a hating ass little bitch. It's giving when older black women hate on younger black women. That's why I've never been one of those older black women who hate on younger black women, even though I'm young. The moral of the story is, Al, so you were problematic from day one. It was given Al was the venom and the snake in the whole group. And had y'all got that demon seed out, then y'all could have been successful. Because even after Funky left, I think Armand and Claudia, they could have been a good duo had they had somebody that wasn't hating like Al. Because even if you don't like Armand, and I was a little skeptical about Armand being on the platform at first, once he started coming in there, he meshed well to me. And the fashions was given every day. So, I don't know, friend. Tell me what y'all think about that. So, if Funky and Claudia do come back, because Claudia then came out and said something. So, I wonder, is Claudia and Al in a good space? I should have seen if they were still following each other. I wonder, is Claudia and Al in a good space? Because if Funky and Claudia still work together, are they going to include Al, or is Al a no-go? We know Funky and Al is cool, but why would Claudia comment publicly and kind of shade Al or put Al out there like that? Because Claudia seems cool with Dustin. As far as I'm concerned, they call each other friend all the time on the Carlos King podcast. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about Al, Funky ass. Anyway, so let's talk about Nene and Cynthia real quick. I'm trying to make this like less than an hour because I still got to go home, y'all. I got to cook. I'm making me some cabbage and chicken breast. I'm trying to be on my healthy shit today. Anyway, so Nene was on Cynthia's podcast today with the girlie from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What's her name? Crystal. Yeah, it's called a humble brag. So it was really cute. It was really, really cute. You can tell Crystal was kind of starstruck because she said she never met Nene and she was just excited. Nene was trying to play it like, I'm just a normal girl. And she was like, when people meet me, they like, you're not just a normal girl. So fun fact, I didn't meet Nene, but I used to live in Buckhead when I was in Atlanta, like Peachtree and Piedmont. For any of y'all Atlanta girlies, I used to live right across from what's the diamond store? I forgot the name or whatever. The moral of the story is I used to live right across, I used to live like at Peachtree and Piedmont in a high rise. So I used to go to the nail shop across the, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give out it, but the moral of the story is I used to go to this nail shop, and Nene, that's the same nail shop that Nene went to or whatever. So one day I'm in there getting my nails done or whatever, and Nene is across the thing getting her little pedicure or whatever. And when I seen her, I knew it was Nene. She literally had on blue jeans, that white t-shirt, and her little blonde hair or whatever. So I was like, oh my God, is that Nene or whatever? So, but she looked like she was enjoying herself or whatever. I took like a little sneak video like from across the thing and like zoomed in and sent it to Good Deeds, sent it to my brothers or whatever. But I didn't want to bother her because you know, I'm trying to get my nails. You know, once you get your nails and your toes done, that's your happy place or whatever. But I seen Nene too, so I could see how people would be starstruck when she see, you know, when you see her or whatever. She said she don't like when motherfuckers approach her and say, call her Lanithia. She said, you don't know me like that. Exactly. I feel the same way. If you approach me and call me Jada, that's cute, but don't call me by my first name, because who the fuck is you? Exactly. Give celebrities their space. She also talked about being a friend of the show, right? So Cynthia was like, how would you feel if you came back and you were a friend of the show? And Nene was like, no disrespect to being a friend of the show. And I think she said that just as like a caveat to respect Cynthia, because we know Cynthia came back as a friend of the show. But she was like, I'm Nene Leakes, season 1, episode 1. I was like, pop your shit, Nene. Pop your shit. Do your Sagittarius shit. And at the end of the day, I feel like that. Like, if Nene came back, y'all can't bring Nene back as a friend of the show. She season 1, episode 1 Nene. And Nene, she has such a big personality and so much star power. Even if she came back in the friend capacity, she would give main character energy. She always gives main character energy, regardless of, you know how you could be around a person and even if they be like, I'm gonna be low-key, I'm gonna be low-key, it's just in you. It's just in you. Your main character energy. Exactly. And I feel like that's how Nene is. Mind you though, Cynthia, I love Cynthia as a friend of the show. This season, I like Cynthia more than I ever liked Cynthia ever on the show. Her being the friend of the show. Speaking of Cynthia, they also talked about Peter. Nene talked about how she thought Peter was mean. But once she got around Peter and Cynthia together, the way Cynthia got Peter ass together, she was like, I wasn't worried. She was like, I wasn't worried when I left the house. I was like, Cynthia didn't probably snatch Peter White off his head. They talked about him going to the feds and how Cynthia just wants him to go do his time, which Cynthia had said this. I think she said that on the Carlos King interview. So Peter, take your ass on. Instead of on her gossiping about Porsha and all of this other shit, go do your time and then come back and talk to us later on. Girl, fuck you. Nene also talked about the babies. So Crystal was like, do you like the babies? Because her husband does AI. Nene was like, it's okay. Nene was like, it's okay. It's giving, and she not as giving. Nene said we need to get paid, and Nene had spoke out about this previously when she was talking about all of the gifts and all of the memes and all of the shit that we use all the time. She don't get paid for everybody using her likeness. So I feel her. Like, y'all using all of my shit all of the time. And they mentioned that the guy, I think his name is T.I. Lovelace, I believe that's his name. I follow him. I love the babies. If you my friend on Instagram, y'all know I repost them. It's a great snickle and a giggle. And Nene's baby Nene is always my favorite. Because the wigs be right, the expression and the fat cheeks. The babies are so cute. But I can kind of understand where Nene is coming from. She like, give me my check. I don't know, friend. Exactly. Do y'all feel like the creators owe Nene a check? But to me, that like sheds light on what's gonna be the upcoming issue with AI. y'all gonna use all of these people likeness to do AI. You can literally make me or like any other, not like I'm a celebrity, but you can make like any celebrity or make a whole channel using the AI of me and then monetize off of that. Like, you using my whole likeness, like I should get some money. It's crazy. I don't know. Tell me if y'all watched the interview. What do y'all think? Would y'all like Nene to come back to Housewives in the capacity of like a friend of the show? I don't know. What if Nene and Cynthia were friends of the show? She also talked about her doing Traders. She said she didn't turn down Traders because they weren't giving enough money. She said she turned it down because her son was sick at the time. And that's why they ended up getting Porsha and Tamar. So I guess Tamar was supposed to do it, because I don't think Tamar is on a new season. Like, so what happened with Tamar? Tamar, I know you didn't turn down Traders. She also said that she'd never do Big Brother because she can't live without her phone. I'm right there with her. But I thought the Traders girls couldn't have their phones either. Or maybe they could have them periodically, but I was under the impression that the Traders girls couldn't have their phones. Maybe it's stricter on Big Brother. I don't watch Big Brother like that, so I don't know. Anyway, tell me if y'all watched the Nene and Cynthia interview. Tell me what y'all thought about it. I would be 1,000% here for Nene returning. I would love the Nene, Cynthia, Porsha duo, because I can tell by how Cynthia and Porsha was interacting during that Spades thing with Nick Cannon. I feel like if Cynthia comes on, and I'm going to clip this, exactly. Somebody put this timestamp. If Nene comes back next season, Cynthia is going to be the olive branch between Porsha and Nene to like bridge their friendship. And Nene said she gonna go ahead and tell Porsha off, but she cool with, you know, her and Porsha getting back together, and it's gonna be a trio. That's what I think. Okay, exactly. Anyway, last but not least, before I get the hell off of her and go home and make my cabbage and my chicken breast, friend, and talk to Big Nose. Exactly, I'm excited. Okay, back to business. No. I meant to tell y'all about DDG earlier. Let me tell y'all about this little smurfette. I dislike this little boy more and more every day. And I've grown to like the streamers ever since, and I'm not gonna lie, I knew who Kai was. I knew who a few streamers were, but I didn't really pay attention to them until Streamers University. And I was like, okay, this is some real shit. And then once I started researching these little boys, these little boys make more than all of the rappers. All of them. All of the rappers, all of the YouTubers, all of them. Did y'all just see that little I Show Speed, the little guy that they call Speed, beating Ashton Kushner, the dude who soak his face in ice and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, do that little routine? He smoked the dog shit out of him. Y'all gotta watch it. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, so that's why I joined Twitch. Shout out to Twitch. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitch, because once I get home and I start cooking, I'm probably gonna go live on Twitch. Twitch is much, I'm starting to be a Twitch girly. My Twitch is On The Rocks with Jada. I'm probably gonna turn on some music and have a blast. They less judgmental, and you can do what the fuck you want to do on Twitch and live your life. Exactly. The moral of the story is, let's talk about DDG, girl. So y'all know he over in Paris, and the judge granted him visitation with Halo. Mind you, you supposed to be over there trying to reconcile with your son. This man been on Twitch with, out in the streets with Sexy Red, doing ratchet shit with your ratchet friend. Shout out to Sexy, St. Louis. Shout out to my St. Louis girlies. But you over there doing ratchet shit with your ratchet friends. Also, he got India Love over there, who Tasha K allegedly said he was paying $50,000 a month to date him, but that's neither here nor there. That's just some tea. But last week, and I was going to report on this, but I was just like, fuck it. So last week, he got into it with this streamer named Reggie. And he was mad because the little boy Reggie was trolling him and saying that his music was trash, and posted a picture with DDG. It was like a bag of trash, and it said DDG on it. So, of course, DDG, being the sensitive young man that he is, he had an attitude. And he told him, hey man, Reggie told him as they was like going back and forth, he was like, man, worry about your son. DDG in turn puts this boy's deceased father, his father passed away, he put it as his screensaver and was like, I don't think it's going too far. First of all, y'all already know how I feel about people dead parents, because my parents passed away. And once you start playing with people dead, deceased family members, I feel like that's your karma. Your karma is coming. Karma never misses a beat. So I already thought that was deplorable. Like, why the fuck do you have this man's deceased father as your damn screensaver? Like, that, to me, that's taking it too far. Which, you know, back in my day, I took some shit to hell too. You know what I'm saying? But playing with people's deceased family members, to me, is too much. You could do other things. First of all, you got more money than him and you a bigger streamer than him. You have other shit to, you know what I'm saying? You could have said other shit and did other shit. Now, this motherfucker got into it with this guy named Jay something. I'm sorry, y'all. My little notes like went dead or whatever on my other phone. Anyway, the little streamer guy, his name is Jay. Jay Money? I don't know. Tell me what the little streamer guy name is. His name is Jay. He got into it with another little younger streamer guy. And Jay was talking about how, you know, streamers try to turn into rappers and yada, yada, yada. So it's giving you're very sensitive about your music. And anytime when somebody comments on your music, you got beef for them. He goes online and basically was like, little nigga, you need to bow down. I paved the way for niggas like you. You need to show some respect and bow down. You ain't Kai. You're not Kai. You're not Kai. You're not Amp. You're not Duke Dennis. Mind you, DDG is, you know, a successful streamer in his own right. But for you to like try to say somebody should bow down to you like you paved the way, relax. Relax. No one is above reproach here. If they can come down to YouTube and talk about Funky and if they can, Tasha K, all of these people with these big numbers who've been doing YouTube for hella long, what makes you think Twitch is a whole new platform? We just learned about Twitch. Twitch ain't even been around as long as YouTube. Who the fuck is you to tell these young streamers that they need to show you respect and pay homage? This is the same little boy who just a few weeks ago told Soulja Boy and Ray J who told Soulja Boy and Ray J that they will never have as much money as him and they will never have as much clout as him. And I feel like that's why Ray J, notice Ray J never clapped back when DDG said that. I feel like that's why Ray J is doing so much, because Ray J wants to surpass these young boys. Or maybe DDG and prove a point to DDG. That's just my opinion. Streamer money is different than other money. That's why I'm on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, friend. If you fuck with your best friend from St. Louis, follow me on Twitch. Exactly. But that's kind of what it's giving. Anyway, the moral of the story is, I say all this to say, the more we see and learn about DDG, the more plausible Haley's accusations of him are. The whole narcissistic, if he don't get his way, how far he'll go to prove his point. All of these traits is letting us know basically what Haley said was true about you. And the fact that now you can't use Halo, you can't use your son. Mind you, even when he picked up his son, the paparazzi caught a glimpse of it. You called them. Ain't nobody in Paris called. You called them. It's given now that you can't use your son as clout. You're using beef with smaller streamers as clout. Because, and he tried to involve like Kai them, but they wouldn't own it. They too busy in Target. That's a story for another day. Y'all seen Kai and Amp them, Duke Dennis and Agent, and I like Agent. But the moral of the story, you seen them in in Target doing a little overnight sleepover and shit because they put their shit on the shelves. Like, you know, we boycotting Target. What is you doing? I made a slip up, but I'm not Kai. Exactly. I'm not influencing the masses. That low-key made me hate Target even more because, bitch, you know you wrong. And now you're trying to play on my intelligence and use these little streamer guys to influence the culture. You're not trying to correct your wrong or say, hey, we're wrong, we fucked up. You're trying to influence us by using these little boys. I don't like that. I don't like that. And the street, y'all should have known better. I'm calling them little boys because they little boys to me, but these are grown men. Y'all are literally grown men. Y'all ear to the street because y'all always on the internet, so y'all know what's going on with the whole Target thing. Has Jamal Bryant said something yet? I don't know. Anyway, back to DDG. He do anything for clout, like Offset cracked out ass. If it's not India love, if it ain't Sexy Red, if it ain't trying to shit on the little younger streamers or whatever, it's anything. It's giving Haley, I hope you off with your little dread head, girl, getting knocked down, getting the mattress pasted into your wig or your dreads or whatever. Anyway, friends, so that's really all I had to say. I gotta get my ass home and cook, but I did want to come and talk to y'all today because I missed y'all. You know, we ain't talked that much this weekend, exactly. And I'm a little behind on the tea. But tomorrow, okay, so I'm gonna watch Basketball Wives tonight. We'll see if it's hitting on some. Y'all know me. I didn't kind of fizzled out on the Basketball Wives. I'm sick of Evelyn, her vein, that big ass forehead, her not really talking about shit. Y'all know I can't stand Shawnee. I don't like Evelyn daughter. I don't like Jackie daughter. If Basketball Wives talking about something tomorrow, I'll talk about it. If not, tomorrow we're going to talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because I'm here for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I want to see what the tea is. I really want to know what's going to happen with Jock and Kendra that made him allegedly want to dump her. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, friend. Tell me what y'all think about Shamia being a fake-ass bitch. Did Porsha skirt her into oblivion? Brit, why didn't you come out and drag the dog shit out of Shamia? She's still trying to blame everybody else. She has a total lack of accountability. But tell me what y'all think about it. Tell me what y'all think about Amy filing for divorce. You knew he was gay. You knew you had to have a strap on. You knew you had to be down for pegging when you started this. I'm kind of on the white side, and I never thought I would say the words that I'm on the white side. I'm on the white side because you knew what you signed up for, and you still signed up for it. And after 6 months, you want to divorce this man and get temporary and permanent alimony? No, ho. You knew you bought a 12-pack of Dush when y'all, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. And tell me what y'all think about Claudia clapping back, and why is Al hating on Dustin? That's the real tea. I might watch the Carlos King thing tonight and see if Claudia gonna comment on it, or like what Carlos King got to say about it. I don't know, friend. Anyway, so make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the video. Tell me what y'all think about everything. You know, I read all of my comments. I block some of y'all hoes, but I just want to snickle and giggle with my friends. I just want to get ratchet and snickle and giggle with my friends before I go to bed. Anyway, I'll talk to you tomorrow, friend. Have a good night. Love you.